Hi everyone, welcome to a nice day here at Let's Do Bonsai. Today we're going to do some pre-bonsai work on my Lawsons Cypress. We're going to repot the tree and get it into a new training pot and then start shaping the branches. So here's the Lawsons Cypress that we're going to be working on today. You can see there's quite a bit of structure to it. But what we're going to do first of all is get it out of that pot that it's in, get down into that roots and see what kind of root base we've got down there waiting for us, and then we'll get it into this training pot. And where we want to work on the branches, we can anchor the branches down on the lips of these pots. So let's start by getting it out of its pot. So we moved inside due to there being quite a bit of noise outside. Everybody's doing gardening day today, I think, so there's a lot of hammering and banging and lawnmowers and all sorts of things going off. So back to where we were, we're going to lift this out of the pot. And we can see we've got a lot of roots there. So first of all, I'm going to rake away this top layer just to get down to a level where we can see what we've got. There's a lot of roots in here. It has been in this pot for quite a while, so I think it's going to be there's going to be a lot of roots in here. We do have one great big thick root here wrapping around. So yeah, we're going to have looks like we're going to have quite a bit of work to do to get through these roots. Looks like it might have been slip potted at some stage because we've got a lot of other roots shaped into a shape of another pot, so it looks like it was in a smaller pot and just transitioned into the pot we've just taken it out of. So we'll just work our way around the tree and just keep working away at what we've got here. So yeah, it definitely looks as if it came out of a small pot and just got slipped into a larger pot, and it definitely needs this repot, because underneath all of here we've got a massive root mass build up in there. It's going to take quite a bit of effort to get through this. So we can see we've got lots of new root there where it's had a little bit of room to grow, but that is obviously the original shape of the pot before it was slipped into that larger pot. I'll just move this away, drop it into the larger pot again, and we'll just clear away this soil. So we're now down to the original pot, and this is just a full mat of roots. I don't know what success we might have trying to rake these out. I think we're going to have a very small amount of success here. We may end up having to saw some of these roots away, but we'll see what we can get from raking out the bottom and work our way up through the root ball, the root mass. It was obviously pot bound when it was slip potted into that pot, so there's going to be a lot of roots here to get rid of. It would be nice to be able to work out where our root level is, but it's all just too dense to be able to rake this through. So we'll have to continue from the bottom, taking out all the loosest. And I think what we might end up having to do here is to soak these and pull all these roots apart using a bucket of water and a hose and try and free it up as best we can. So let's try that as our next step. So as you can see, these roots have been going round and round and round for a long time, so this work was massively overdue, but we'll work our way through and find out where this giant taproot type root is disappearing off to and what it's feeding, and we'll carry on. So we have this one giant taproot that comes down from inside the root ball, and it's coming up and it's going round and round and round and round the top of the pot. So what we'll do is we'll get some tools and we'll cut that root away. So we have some cutters here, and we'll take it back down to that low point, and then if we pull it out, we'll be able to pull it from around the tree. And you can see there it splits into several roots, so we'll just pull that around the tree until we get rid of that big long taproot. They're all well intertwined with each other, but we have another one here that we'll take off, and that's all those roots from the tap roots that have just gone down and come back up to the top of the pot and just gone round and round and round. So this was well beyond needing repotting, it was desperate. So we'll carry on. So that turned out to be a lot more work than what I first envisioned. I had no idea that that would be so root bound as it is. So we've got everything exposed now. We can see we've got some nice roots down at about this level here. There's a great big root coming up through the base here. I'll just see whether it's attached or whether it's coming up and through the root mass. So we'll just work this through, work it out and see where we're at. And it looks a bit, yeah, it comes off the trunk a bit lower, so we'll just take that off altogether. And then we've got our roots there that are coming down and flowing nicely. We want to try and retain as many of these roots as possible, so we'll be trying to reshape some of these ones that go off in strange directions. We've got one here that we've got one here that comes out and goes up. There's not a lot on it other than that big root itself, so we'll just take that away. That exposes a bit more. The roots could potentially end up coming down as far as here, but this will be our root plane level here for now. We need to obviously get this back in some soil as soon as possible. It'll be a nice test for the new mix that I've done. We'll just get rid of a couple of the ones that are going straight up. Hey Pete, you come to help. That one will push down into the soil, and those ones will push down and into the soil. I don't think we dare take too much more away from this. We do have a little bit more dirt in there with some old roots that are coming away. We've got one that comes down and goes underneath. We'll just take that one out. A few others there we can push outwards to suit ourselves, and we have the beginning of a flat root base. So we'll get tidied up here and we'll get some soil in the new pot, and then we'll start positioning to get it in and get it settled in. So we have a bit of soil here in the bottom of the pot. We'll just put a couple more scoops in the middle for the tree to sit on. Happy level. Try and position some of these roots radially. So we'll just come in with some scoops of the new soil mix. Just keep scooping it around. This pot will take a lot of soil. Just see where we are with the roots. There's a few wanting to stick up. We'll just grab a chopstick and start working it away into the roots. There's going to be a lot of spaces in there for this to fill out. Now there's all sorts in this mixture. We've got so we'll just keep working the soil into the roots. There's going to be a lot of space for these roots to grow back into, and then hopefully we'll be able to do some work on this tree going forward. The plan to work on the branches might have to wait for now, but we'll see how it sits in the pot as we work all this soil in. So there's a lot of roots that need to be positioned underneath the soil that are pushing their way back up. If this tree survives, it'll be a nice project to work on going forward, but we'll just have to wait and see the outcome after this extensive root work that we've just had to carry out, having found out the state of the roots we're in. It's sitting in the pot really well actually, so that's good. It's in there nice and rigid. The mixture of this soil now gets into the crevices a lot better than the previous mix I was using. So we just keep working it into the roots. Yeah, I can see that it has gone down considerably. You might be able to see that too. We'll just push some of these roots back down into the soil level, and we'll just come in with some more soil. Taking a lot of soil. I made this batch up, haven't used it yet, and it looks like most of it's going to go on the repotting of this first project of using the new soil. But we can always make more. Got one root there just sticking up out of the soil, we'll take that away. And now we'll give it its first water in its new pot. So here we are with the water now. This mixture is going to swell up a bit, so it will across the soil. Sat in the pot, absolutely solid, so that's good. The water's running through the bottom, so we'll just give it a little bit more of a water. This is a little bit too aggressive, this spout on this watering can, but it will do for now. So we'll take a look at what it looks like in its new pot. There it is. Hopefully it will carry on doing well. It is nice and green. Hopefully it was a decent time to do that. And I did begin to tell you what this mixture is. If I take you over to the pot of soil that I've got over here, this is a mixture of Vermiculite from Peat. It's a mixture of some high-grade soil mix, also from Peat. We've got some clay particles in here also, and then we've obviously got the Perlite. I'll put the list to all the things that I'm using, and if it's any good and works out to be okay, then you guys will be good to go and get the same sort of stuff. But we'll see how it acts for our Lawsons Cypress, also known as Rogers Gold. So we'll see whether it does continue to come in as gold or whether it turns into bronze. So I've been Scott Winard for Let's Do Bonsai. We'll see you again in the next one.